What a nightmare. I'm just having to mix in between this phone and the spare phone. The spare phone just started collapsing on me. It's got more time for recording, but the quality is worse than this one. So November the 11th, intermittent fasting challenge. I want to talk more. I'll put a little bit of information in. This is day 5. I started my intermittent fasting challenge on Monday and then decided to start recording it on the Tuesday, I believe. And I started recording obviously my weight from Tuesday, Wednesday, so this is the 4th day of the weigh-in. Haven't been able to eat at all how I usually would plan to eat because this week's just been all over the place, except of course, not of course, but except on the flipping, what do you call it, on Monday. So, it's Friday morning. Let's do this. Let's see what's what. Okay. So, lost another 2 grams. So there's continued weight loss going on, which works out to be 0.4409 of pounds. So nearly half a pound. So within 2 days, though it's kind of stagnated and slowed down a lot, I've lost nearly a pound still. Okay, and altogether, I'm not too sure. I'll have to go and just work out all the figures and everything else. But I'll be putting it all together later on. But seriously, this is seriously making me consider looking into this a lot more. And I've started looking into it just recently in regards to do with understanding what it is. Because I'm naming something, but not knowing the definition. Just clawing a definition from what I've seen on YouTube and not even doing any research on it. And what I've discovered is I think this could be really the jawbreaker for me. It could end up being my silver bullet. So it could end up being something that I end up just delving into really deep, because I've literally lost between May, but I started exercising in June. So May 2015 up until this date now, I've lost nearly 80 kilos. So no, I haven't nearly lost 80 kilos. I mean 80 pounds. Wow, wouldn't that be like some big? That'll probably be like about 170 pounds, maybe with more. So I meant to say nearly 80 pounds I've lost, which is still a big significant number. But the majority of that weight has been lost through blood, sweat and tears through the gym. And then to do the dieting side of things, the things that have kind of multiplied the whole traction, more often than not, has been some form of fasting. But the ones that I've found most pleasurable and been able to deal with and hardly feel it, and it's almost part of who I am. It makes up part of my habits, my habitual habits that I was doing before I'd started trying to lose the weight, and before I started going back to the gym back in May 2015 with regards to do the weight, going to see the GP, starting to just look at what I'm eating, curtail all my stacking and everything else, and start trying to physically do something. And then in June, back in the gym, 2015 to the date now, November the 11th, the core element to do with the dietary side of things has obviously, not the core, one of the core elements, one of the tools, has been the fasting side of things, because I do it naturally. Because what had happened is I work from home, trying to set up a business, spent so much time in front of my laptop, probably any time between say 10 to 14, maybe 16 hours a day. And then I'd be missing out big lumps of meals, but I'd be snacking and eating loads of cack. So when I started my weight loss journey, I started changing all those bad foods with good foods. So naturally, everything started coming off anyway. And then obviously I'm hitting the gym. But what would happen is that it will go and do that much, it will come off. The weight would come off that much more with 2 elements: the gym, with exercising, and continuity with the consistency. And with this sporadic on and off kind of basically eating. So there'd be, because not like I said, but I've said in some of the previous videos, I have gone through stages where I might not eat until say 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or sometimes 4, or sometimes 5 or 6 in coming on to the evening. And all I'd be having is, I used to drink a lot of coffee, so I'd have coffee, water, and used to drink as well, not fizzy drinks, but just like have cordial drinks and so forth, and snacks and everything else. So I had those kind of habits before, and then I would almost curtail my weight like that before when I hadn't started my weight loss journey, purely being because I could see I was getting bigger and bigger. And it did work to a degree. And then I just transferred that into my lifestyle and into my dietary side of things in regards to losing weight. I don't think I'm explaining it properly, but basically it's a habit that I've built up over the past 3 or 4 years. Okay? And then it basically became a part, like a norm. That's why it's easy for me to try and look into this now properly. And what I wanted to say before my phone just cut off is I may begin to look into this a lot more, because I've started just looking literally this morning and last night with regards to do with this definition that I've been putting out there called intermittent fasting or intermittent eating or staggered eating. There's all these different terminologies, but they all mean one and the same thing. And it's almost like anything. Once you've got a name for something, you name it, you claim it. And sometimes you can name and claim things that are negative, that can deal with things like a sickness or something that's negative or derogatory on your life. But sometimes it helps you in another way, that you actually become to be clear on something, that you're able to put a name to something that you've been doing but you didn't know you was doing it, and you've kind of just gleaned this name because other people are using it, but you don't know the definition. In regards to you don't know what makes up that actual word that you've been using. So I've set up this, not challenge, but this series, the intermittent fasting series, where I'm just doing a daily kind of recording of what I'm losing, and I'll be breaking down what I've been eating and everything else. But my calorie intake is the same as what it's been when I'm not on the intermittent fast. All what happens is I've compressed and condensed the time when I'm eating. And if I'd done it properly this week, things may be different. And obviously, because I've started, I can continue. Possibly. This weekend, Conor McGregor fight. Don't know if you're into that. MMA. Mixed martial arts. UFC. He's got a fight on. And it's going to be probably about 5 o'clock in the morning for me. It's going to be hard for me to carry on with the intermittent fasting. So what I might do is I might stop over the weekend and then kick back on and then see what happens. I can basically record what I've eaten over the weekend and then kick back on the Monday, or I might just carry on through. So I'll make a decision as and when it comes. It's nothing, nothing's written in stone at the end of the day. So yeah, I mean, the long and the short of it is, I'm thinking this could be something that I've just stumbled on properly that could end up becoming a silver bullet for me in some shape or form, because I'm going to be able to get more clarity. The same way as me becoming a vegan brought a lot of benefits to me, which I will be sharing in a series in the future, probably just before Christmas, being I'm not going to be able to have all the things I had. So I don't know how I'm going to deal with it. I've been fine with the whole thing up until this time of day, but that's another series. And I'll be going into that just like I've gone into this. It's because what I'm trying to do is record where I am now. I've lost weight. You can see definitions starting to come in on me bit by bit. That's another thing that blew my mind. It's like I can feel my ribs. There's definition, there's shape coming in because of the training I'm doing. I'm following through with obedience to do with my dietary intake of food and fluids and everything else. What I'm doing right now is obviously shaping and moulding and seeing if I'm able to critique certain elements of what I'm doing and learn things that I've done and look into them a lot more. And that's why I'm doing this intermittent fasting thing, and it throws up a whole load of things. So carry on following me and you'll get a clearer picture of what it's about. But like I said, I'll probably do another film just because I've got the boiler guy. I've been talking about this all week, but he's going to be knocking at any point in time. I was recording before my phone, it just cut off because it just doesn't record a nice lump of video. So I'll probably have to do another video and just talk about, so I can say, okay, this is how much. I'll have it in the description below anyway, but I'll just have probably a 5-minute chat in regards to where I started on the Sunday prior to the Monday when I started the whole intermittent fasting side of things, give you a bit more of a clearer picture. And then also going to be talking about the macros and doing probably a screenshot and then linking all that up, and link that up with going to the gym and then after the gym and everything else. And that'll be it for today, okay? But we're not there yet, so make sure you carry on watching. So keep on keeping on and just go do it already. Keep on keeping on.